This is Ohio. Now, despite the verdant fields that you see before you, Ohio is a very industrial state. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Toledo, a state of factories and a state of unions and union members. And yet, in the 2020 presidential election, Ohio voted for someone who is anti-union, someone who is anti-hard work, for themselves at least. Donald J. Trump. Now, why would a state filled with hard-working union members vote for some elitist swine like Donald Trump? I mean, seriously, the only time the man has worked up a sweat, at best, has been during golf games. He has nothing in common with the working class. And yet, he was very well supported here. How did the Democrats, the party of unions, the party that is endorsed by unions, lose the unionized workers of Ohio? Now, some people will say it was because of NAFTA. When the Clinton administration signed the NAFTA agreement, which allowed corporations to set up factories in other parts of North America where they didn't have to have union workers. Ooh, train going the other direction. Where they didn't have to have union workers, which of course corporations are not going to. If they have the option of paying their workers less, they're going to move to where the workers are paid less. A corporation, from their perspective, their job is not to provide a service or to make anything. From the perspective of the corporation, their board, their CEO, their CFO, it is simply to make more money for themselves, for their stockholders. If they can get away with making absolutely nothing and still make a profit, they will do that. So of course they moved overseas. Of course they moved their factories to other places once NAFTA was signed. And a lot of Democrats, well, I should say a lot of former Democrats, a lot of working class people, a lot of union folks here in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania, they held that against them. They still hold that against them. They feel like they were stabbed in the back by Clinton, Gore, and the Democrats in general. They weren't going to vote for Hillary when she ran because there was no sense of these are people looking out for us. They seemed like corporatists and were. So in every election since then, the union members, the working class members, the people who had been reliable Democratic voters have not been. They do not see the Democrats as on their side, and they have certainly bought all the propaganda about the elite Democrats and the coastal Democrats. And when somebody has come along, as the Republicans have started to do more and more, to rely on populism and to rely on, just tell people what they want to hear, not any hard truth, just tell them what they want to hear and they'll vote for you. Because the world is a scary place, and who are you going to trust? You know, the person who tells you that you've got to give up a bunch of things because modern capitalism has failed and we need to restructure things, or you're going to believe the person and just fall asleep in the loving arms of nostalgia and just try to take a break from the modern world and believe the person who says, you're good, you're right, and all your sacrifices and all your struggle and all your hard work have not been for nothing. Now, if that person is a racist, rapist, blowhard, it doesn't matter. At least they are saying something that is comforting. And they didn't stab you in the back with a trade deal that lost you jobs. Ohio.